Good evening and welcome to another edition of the AGP Sportscast for today, July the 24th. I'm Samuel Gillis. Thanks for joining us. Here are your news stories. Guyana squash team will begin their campaign in this year's Pan American Games starting on Thursday. Stanford Howard reports.
Guyana squash team led by the experienced Mary Fungafat will receive support from Taylor Finance and Ashley Khalid when the team gets into battle at the Pan American Games in Peru. The weather in Peru is forecast to be very cold. This will be Guyana's first squash contingent at these games. Speaking before they took to the court, Coach Raymond Shanasu said despite the cold weather, the ladies from the land of many waters will be ready to deliver.
The girls seem to have adjusted to the courts a little much quicker than I thought. We are using a 17-inch tin for singles, which is a lot different than what we have in Guyana. So that's been more of a challenge than the actual temperature. So it's coming along well though.
During the final training session, a nervous Taylor Finance said she's putting the butterflies aside as she prepares to do battle.
I'm very excited. I mean, this is my first time and I know I'm going to be playing against professional players, so all I want to do is go out there and play my best. This is my first time at the Pan Am Games, but I did play at the Commonwealth Games.
Meanwhile, Guyana rugby and taekwondo teams begin their campaign at the games this coming Saturday. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
The Guyana Football Federation continues its drive to develop football across the country. The GFF and the Berbice Football Association assigned a 30-year land lease with the New Amsterdam municipality to build a home for football in the Asian County. Here is Jaden Samuels with the details.
The Asian County of Berbice will for the first time have a home for football courtesy of a 30-year land lease signed on Tuesday between the Guyana Football Federation and the Mayor and Town Council of New Amsterdam. The lease signed at the municipality building by GFF's President Wayne Ford and New Amsterdam Mayor Winifred Haywood will see the construction of a football facility at Vermans Erven, New Amsterdam, which will include construction of a field, perimeter fence, installation of lighting, and construction of a football housing facility. Following the signing, Mayor Haywood described the initiative as an opportunity for the development of youths in Berbice and thanked members of the council for supporting and endorsing the application submitted by the Guyana Football Federation. For his part, President Wayne Ford said the facility, which will be funded under the FIFA Forward program, is part of GFF's overall strategic plan. Ford reiterated that he's expecting everyone's support in making this symbolic achievement possible. The Guyana Football Federation, realizing the importance and impact of quality infrastructure will have on the overall development of the game and the quality of players that can be derived, is taking keen interest in what is being put in at this level. When complete, the venue will be used to house the Academy Training Center, Elite Referees Program, along with other national development and capacity building programs. Ford said the next step will be the presentation and approval of the conceptual design and by the Berbice Football Association members before construction commences. This is the third land identified and acquired for football development following the Guyana Football Federation's training facility at Providence and the recently acquired 7.4 acres at Durban Park. It is the plan of the GFF to acquire land across Guyana to house football development initiatives. Jadon Samuels, HGP Sport.
International Hockey Federation coach Shiv Jagde is visiting Guyana to run what has become the Bon Ice Cream Junior Hockey Camp for under-21 boys and girls. Stanford Howard with more.
Shiv, who first visited Guyana in 1988 to conduct a Pan American Hockey Federation coaching course, fell in love with the country. Now that he's semi-retired, Guyana is one of his chosen destinations to visit and conduct clinics. Apart from his clinics in the USA and Canada, Shiv now spends his time in Melbourne, Australia, and Punjab, India. It is now his third year in succession. FIH hockey coach Shiv Jagde is visiting Guyana to run what has become the Bon Ice Cream Junior Hockey Camp for under 21 boys and girls. Shiv has been conducting clinics and coaching teams for the past 40 years after learning hockey in his native India before migrating to Canada as a teenager. 30 boys and girls make up the current national under-21 squad and will expose to Shiv's clinic, which is being held twice per day at the Georgetown Cricket Club. The schedule includes both theory and practical sessions. In addition, local coaches who work with the junior programs of each club have been invited to observe and participate in the sessions. President of the Guyana Hockey Board, Philip Fernandes, once a student of Jagde during his early visit, indicated that Shiv brings such a wealth of experience and sound technical knowledge that the young players of Guyana will benefit greatly from this exercise. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
In collaboration with President Granger's 74th birth anniversary, RHTYSE Patrons Fund gave out over 1.5 million worth of bicycles, school bags, and cricket gears. More in this report. The 10 cricket teams of Guyana's leading youth and sports club and the Rose Hall Town Youth and Sports Club on Friday last hosted the third edition of the club's Patron Fund. The teams and the management of the Town Sports Club handed out 1.5 million worth of sports gears and other items to the youth in the community, cricket associations and clubs. Among the items distributed to the groups were bicycles, school bags, trophies, cricket gears and educational materials. Club Secretary and CEO Hilbert Foster stated at the simple presentation ceremony that under the Patron Fund, the Rose Hall Town Youth and Sports Club makes a positive difference in the lives of youth, and as part of the celebration with His Excellency President David Granger's birth anniversary. Over the weekend, the club handed out 25 bicycles, hundreds of school bags, educational materials, trophies, cricket gears, among others, to those selected based on a wide range of guidelines. The Patron Fund also provided sponsorship to 2 cricket clubs, associations, to host cricket academics in their areas and co-sponsored an award ceremony for the Port Morant Public Hospital. For GP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis. The boxing fraternity mourns the loss of Russian boxer Dada Shiv, who dies after injuries sustained in IBF light welterweight fight. Jana Samuels with the sad details.
Russian boxer Maxim Dadashev has died at the age of 28 following injuries suffered in his IBF light welterweight fight against Subriel Matias. Dadashev was reportedly unable to walk to the dressing room after his bout was stopped by trainer Buddy McGirt at the end of the 11th round last Friday. He was hospitalized after it was diagnosed that he was bleeding from the brain and underwent emergency surgery but failed to recover. US-based Dadashev had won all of his previous 13 fights. However, he observed a barrage of punches during the fight in Maryland from the Puerto Rican. McGirt had said afterwards that he could not convince his fighter to stop, but opted to throw in the towel when he saw him getting hit with more and more clean shots as the fight went on. Floyd Mayweather Jr., a world-class boxer, has often come under fire for his defensive style of boxing, where he avoids big hits and often opts to stay back instead of attacking his opponent. But according to him, his strategy in any fight is hit and not get hit from his opponent. Jaden Samuels, HGP Sport.
And that's all we have for this edition of the AGP Sports, guys. But do remember, success is not an happening, it is a result. There is nothing mysterious about progressing. It is doing instead of doubting and working instead of wishing. Back to you, Javon.